Andy Kaufman, host of the People and Projects podcast. Welcome to our free video series entitled 20 Ways to Radically Improve Your Ability to Deliver Projects. You know, every project has constraints. Back when we talked about unrealistic timeframes, we talked about time constraints. There are always budget constraints. There might be quality constraints, all kinds of different constraints that you have to deal with as a project manager. Well, there's a model that's often referred to as the triple constraint, or sometimes also called the project management triangle. Now, it's taught in different ways. You know, you look at the three different sides of this. Sometimes the way it's referred to is that you can have things better, faster, cheaper, pick two. You know, if you want something better and fast, the idea of high quality and you need it fast, well, it's not going to be cheap. That's the idea of that. Well, that model actually works pretty well, but the way I like to teach it is each of these three dimensions are interdependent. And so the idea is, for example, if your boss comes in and says, hey, we need to add scope to your project, well, what do? Well, if you look at the triangle, you have to either increase cost or time. So let's actually say this happens. After watching this video, your boss walks up and says, hey, you know what? We need to add scope to a project. And so what you say is, well, you know, Chief, there's this triangle thing and you just added scope. And what I need now is more time. And right as you say that, what's he gonna say or she gonna say? Time out. You know we don't have any more time, you know, A. Second, never go to training again. And you know, that might be what they feel like saying. Well, think about that for a second. If you add scope and the boss says you don't have any more time, what is another leg of the dimension? Another dimension in the triangle? It would be cost. Now, this doesn't have to be an equilateral triangle. It doesn't have to be an isosceles triangle. It can be way leaning over. But the idea behind the triple constraint or the project management triangle is that when a change is made to one side, you need to make a change to one or both of the other sides. Now, let's say the boss comes up and says, we need to add more scope, and you have no more time, and there's no more cost. Is there still a way to adjust it? Well, you could look on the scope side of it and maybe defer some other scope. That's the idea of how this works. I gotta tell you, there's a lot you can learn about project management, but when it comes right down to it, if you understand the triple constraint or the project management triangle, you know a lot about it. Now, you see in the triangle here that it also has on the inside that circle with quality and resources. The idea behind that is that if you don't make the appropriate adjustments to the triangle, for example, you add scope, but you don't make a change to time or cost or defer other scope, that you add a little bit of illusion to your project. And yeah, I'm not saying you're doomed, but the more that happens, you add more illusion, and eventually it leads to crisis. And crisis in this model is the triangle implodes. And when it implodes, what's it stepping on? Quality, or you're burning out your resources. I'm telling you, this is a very valuable model, and it goes back to a point that was made earlier about rolling wave planning, or progressive elaboration, that it's not a matter of if change is going to occur in your project. It's only a matter of when. And if you understand this triple constraint, and when change comes your way, whether it's cutting time off your schedule, whether it's pulling people off your team, whether it's adding scope, go to the triangle. Go to the triangle. And if you do that and you make the appropriate adjustments, you can radically improve your ability to deliver your projects. Hey, take a minute to visit us online at freeprojectmanagementvideos.com. You'll get exclusive access to our free video series entitled 20 Ways to Radically Improve Your Ability to Deliver Projects. We'll see you there.